Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm meteorologist Jamie Martin. We're still continuing to watch what's going on over there in, unfortunately, Louisiana, still being hit by a Hurricane Ida as it continues to push its way through that general area. Again, beginning to lose some of its punch, but it's still out there. Aaron has been in the middle of it and continues to basically try to give us the best pictures that we can find here. And again, this is, everybody wants to see what it looks like. Everybody wants to see how bad it can get. And one of the reasons we actually like it is because of the fact that it's educational. That is for sure. So that's one of the reasons we're still doing that. We might have it back, guys. Do we have Aaron back now, or? I'm not positive. May or may not. Yes. Are we still waiting for Aaron to come back? Oh, okay. I believe they just told me to go ahead and grab the app and just kind of go through it right for you right now. Is that correct? Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and take this off here. Okay, let's go ahead and go through the app. I want to show you what's going on. Again, we are talking obviously about Hurricane Ida. And again, this is one of the big things that the hardest things about when you're dealing with people actually going out and trying to deliver on things like this, that Aaron's doing to us. Normally it's hurricane. I mean, normally it's tornadoes, it's big storms, things like that. But again, a hurricane is a totally different beast, that's for sure, because of the fact that it affects so much area around, and that's for sure. That's going to be one of the biggest problems as we continue our way through the next 24 to 20, yeah, probably 48 hours. Still going to see some problems from this as it moves its way off towards the northeast eventually and up towards the Tennessee Valley. Let me go ahead and show you the app right now, show you what's going on. I'll give you the very latest that we have on Hurricane Ida. Still a Category 3 hurricane. It should be, we should be getting a new update coming up in probably about another 10 minutes or so. But basically what we have, I'm taking a look at it right now, we still have 120-mile-per-hour winds. Basically still moving a lot slower though, 10 miles per hour. It's moving to the northwest at about 10 miles per hour, but we are expecting it to keep that speed, but turn a little bit more to the north and eventually off towards the northeast as we work through the rest of tonight and into the day tomorrow. And that's why we're expecting it to go over towards the Tennessee Valley and maybe even the Ohio Valley as we continue our way through the upcoming work and school week. So again, this is still going to affect quite a few people, even though it's not going to have the intensity, obviously, we'll have right now as it moves its way through parts of Louisiana. So again, right now, its location puts it about 25 miles west-southwest of New Orleans. So again, not that far from downtown New Orleans. And so the good news here is the fact that it is beginning to lose its punch, and that's exactly what we need. That is for sure, and that's what the big problem is that we have been watching with this situation. So again, still watching it very carefully. Let me take this off for you and take a little bit closer look here at some of the things we have here. Again, we've been watching this move its way off to the northwest and slow down just a little bit. I'm going to take off some of this, but I do want to put in things like the winds because it really impressive, unfortunately, showing you that counterclockwise spin here. And again, waiting on that right now. It's just beginning to rebuild as I start this on. Not quite as strong as obviously it was when it was sitting over the Gulf of Mexico. Again, waters were there in the mid to upper 80s, close to 90 degrees. And that was the fuel that Ida was using to keep that intensity, 140, 150 mile per hour winds. And you could definitely pick that up really well with our app. But again, you're beginning to lose that area right now, but it's still out there. Again, just off to the west. Let me go in a little bit closer here. You can see where New Orleans is. There's Lake Pontchartrain. And again, it's just off to the west right now, the west-southwest of downtown. And again, it is going to be shifting its way gradually off towards the north. So again, definitely one that bears watching. And again, it is beginning to shift around just a little bit as it begins to collapse. They're basically trying to get the best handle where exactly the center of circulation is. But again, it is going to kind of shift a little bit from the west to the east here, just like it has been doing over the last, say, 3-4 hours. Aaron was actually out there trying to position himself right there where the eye was coming in. Of course, the actual center the eye was beginning to edge a little bit more towards the north than it was to the northwest. And now it's beginning to shift a little more to the northwest again. So, again, this just keeps on shifting, and that's exactly one of the big problems that we're going to see as this continues to move its way through this area. So, again, here's the track itself. Again, as we continue our way through the overnight hours tonight and into our Monday and Tuesday. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Right now we are basically trying to get together with Aaron right now, so we are still watching this very, very carefully. So again, here's what we're talking about. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at what's going on as far as the actual track goes. It's going to continue to move up towards Arkansas, parts of Mississippi. You're going to be dealing with a lot of this coming the way through. And again, that track itself is going to go way up here to the north. As you can see, let me back it all the way up here. You can see where even the Great Lakes are. So again, the Tennessee Valley almost basically straight through Nashville. And again, we had, unfortunately, those fatalities with that flooding that was off to the west of there about a week and a half ago now. And unfortunately, that area is still going to have the opportunity for more of these heavy rain as it moves its way through. And then basically it's going to continue to push its way all the way towards West Virginia, and eventually head its way up towards New York City, Hartford also. Again, not going to have the intensity, obviously, that it did as it moved its way off of the Gulf of Mexico and into Louisiana. But again, that's what we've been watching very carefully. Continue to push its way off towards the northeast. So again, and we still have a lot of other things going on. We actually have a system, a little area, a little wave here that's situated just off in the Atlantic here. But let me go through those for you real quick and show you what's going on real quick also. Again, the probability is only about 10%, but it's something that we have to watch. Good news here is that is pushing its way off towards the east and moving its way off away from the United States. We do not need to be dealing with that. And we've got a couple of more systems out here too. This one's going to be one moving off to the north. That is actually depression number 10. Winds of 35 miles per hour, 1,008 millibars out there. It's moving to the north at about 12 miles per hour. And again, the circulation should move it, and it could even be our next named system here within the next 24 hours or so. And it could move its way off towards the north and kind of jog a little bit to the northwest from time to time. But again, staying out in the Atlantic. So that's one thing we're not having to worry about. Now, let me take you up here, way up here. This is our latest named system. This is Julian. And again, this is Julian. This is a tropical storm. And it's got winds right now going up to almost 60 miles per hour. So it's going to be flirting a little bit over the next day or so with trying to edge up maybe to hurricane strength. But right now, again, it's a tropical storm. And as you can see, check this out. This is how odd it is and how odd that we have been so far this season. Check out how far this goes. This is Greenland, and it's getting close to Greenland. This is just unheard of. It just does not do that. And so, again, we're looking at that system moving its way through. And just in case you thought we were done, we're not done yet, unfortunately. That's for sure. We're heading into the peak again, September 9th, September 10th. That's the peak of hurricane season. And, boy, it is living up to its name, that's for sure. Because check out what's going on right now. Have a big area of low pressure that's moving its way off of Ghana right now and Sierra Leone, and it's going to be moving its way off into the Atlantic. And right now, all indications is that it's going to have a lot of warm water to fuel off of. And right now, it looks like it does have the opportunity to easily reach up to tropical depression and tropical storm strength, maybe even our next hurricane, as it moves its way off of Africa and moves its way off here into the Atlantic. Again, this is going to be continuing to push its way. Look at how high the percentage is. Probability is about 80%. We are talking about, unfortunately, a very good chance of showers and, again, developing into something more, unfortunately, tropical, and that could be our next hurricane. But again, look at how active we are in the Atlantic Basin, and that continues to be a huge problem out there. Let's get and talk about what's going on in the Pacific. We've even got stuff going on out there, unfortunately. This is our latest one. This is going to be heading its way off here towards the Baja of Mexico, moving its way in right now. That's Nora, and Nora's back down to tropical storm, and that's good news. It is moving off towards the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour, winds of about 60 miles per hour. So again, even in the Pacific, over towards Mexico, we're still dealing with problems there. And the one thing that we have to watch for is the fact that look at what's going to happen as it continues that movement off towards the northwest and eventually the north. It's going to start to push all of that tropical moisture over parts of the desert southwest, back to Arizona, back to New Mexico. So yeah, we're going to see problems up there with all of that heavy rain coming down. So again, tons of problems coming in once again with going through that location. So we are just talking about a tremendous amount of tropical problems out there as far as we're concerned, coming up over the next week or so. So things are not quieting down. You would hope that with Ida beginning to lose a little bit of her strength here, that we could actually say, okay, good, we won't have to worry about anything in a couple days. Not the case. We're unfortunately going to still have several different things that we're watching as far as the tropics are concerned. Let me go ahead and take a look once again. Let me get you a little bit closer here. Let me look at some of the other things. You know what I would actually love to do? That's the best thing about it. I love this app, and one of the reasons I love this app is because I can just choose exactly what I want, and I get to choose things that are a little bit more different than most people do. If you kind of geek out and look at things like right now, power outages. Let's go ahead and check it out. Even though I have power, I'm not worried about that. But it is interesting that you can see just how problematic it is in some locations. Let me take you in to see what's going on here back through parts of Louisiana. So as you can see, lots of areas right now picking up out with the problems with losing their power. And again, as you can see right here, it looks like they're running over 1,000 customers out there without any whatsoever. So again, that's about 47, almost 50% of the people there, and that's away from the center of circulation. They're the ones without power right now, about half of them without that power. And then once you get a little bit closer, you're going to see that definitely cranking up, that's for sure. In fact, this gets up to about 63%, and then you're really going to start to see it as you get a little bit closer to the actual center of circulation. The eye itself that is diminishing. That's the good news of Ida. The good news here, once you're beginning around Well, it looks like we're still waiting on Aaron. Unfortunately, he's kind of in and out because you can imagine the problems with the infrastructure that they have back in parts of Louisiana right now. So again, he's going to be in and out as far as being able to get it, communicate with him. But I tell you what, make sure you check out all of our social channels, because basically we want you to be able to know when he's out there. And if you do pick up on that and let him, obviously you can let us know too when you see him out there in some of the social networks. So again, make sure you are checking us out. We're going to try to do the best we can to get you more of that from Aaron, because we know how important it is for people to be able to see how things are going out there, because as bad as it is to see how bad it got in some locations, it's also good to see how people kind of come together to really, recover from things like this. That's for sure. So again, I'm going to keep an eye on the app, that's for sure. Look at all of the problems out here. These are all the warnings going on, all the power outages, things like that, the flooding that's going on right now. So again, this is a huge problem. It's going to stay like this. It's going to be a huge problem for a long time. We're going to be talking about this throughout the week as they're continuing to rebuild. So again, Aaron's out there doing his best. We're going to continue to try to keep you updated on that also. So make sure you check back. We'll be around. That's for sure.